Hey, it's Marko here from Fair Realty, Victoria, BC. Today I'm going to talk about perspectives sellers may have towards attributes in their property that they consider to be positive or selling features in relation to what buyers actually might think about those specific attributes. Let me give you a quick example to get started. Often I go to listing presentations and the sellers will have a large hot tub or a pool, and they will view this as a selling feature. Having worked with hundreds and hundreds of buyers over the last 15 years, the majority of buyers actually don't like hot tubs, they don't like pools. A lot of the time when I'm working with a buyer and we come across a property with a hot tub, my buyer asks me to have it excluded and removed prior to the completion date. So when a seller is touring me around a property, and let's say they have a fancy 12-person hot tub, they think it's this amazing selling feature, but I have to cautiously prep them without insulting them and say, just so you know, there is a chance that the buyer might ask you to remove the hot tub. And they'll usually reply, well, why would someone not want this amazing hot tub with this great view? But I try to prepare them so when we do get an offer that's often going to be requiring for the hot tub to be removed, so that if I've already brought that up as a discussion with them. Many other things. Often sellers have crazy custom work done to their house, and what's custom to one individual is not custom to the next individual. I'm often involved in situations where the seller has spent tens of thousands of dollars on various custom work around their home. And then the buyer comes in and says, oh, this makes no sense. Why would anyone ever have done this? I want to rip it out. And it's very sensitive because that seller or that individual thinks that makes all the sense in the world versus the next person thinks it's stupid. So it's a very fine line trying to not insult anyone and navigate some of these property attributes that two different parties can view in a totally different light. Obviously, there are some attributes that appeal to a ton of people. If you execute kind of a logical high-end renovation, of course, the property is going to be worth more because there's going to be a bigger buyer pool of buyers who want to pay for those upgrades that the seller did. But there are times where sellers invest into the property into certain attributes that actually decrease the value of the property or don't increase it at all because the work is so custom. The other interesting thing I've found is how finicky people can be around custom work, and then after all that stress and planning, they just sell the property. A good example is I live in a condo building. The people above me, they had an extension to the island done, which was quite complicated because they had to match the cabinets of the existing island. They had a Murphy bed built. They had custom closets built. They probably spent like $40,000 and a lot of planning on all this custom work. And then shortly after they were finished doing all this custom work, they sold the property. They didn't get any money back because the buyer came in and they're like, why do I need a $12,000 Murphy bed? You can leave it, but I'm not paying 12 grand for a Murphy bed. So those are kind of some of my thoughts when it comes to custom upgrades. I guess I'll conclude with what is custom to one person is definitely not custom in a positive sense to the next person. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.